worker. You know, when I was contesting, some people say I didn't even have primary school.
Yeah, so
I didn't have primary school, but I know that erosion is bad. I didn't have primary school, but I know we needed a beautiful hospital. I didn't go to primary school, but I know how to drive away from me water without using Holy Spirit. I didn't go to primary school, but I know how to rebuild when it was water.
red roof.
I knew that red roof is good for the children before.
You did not correct us.
I knew that the way to keep the party together to respect elders, we work with the youth. When they come here, show about or show children. And together, we made a difference in 8 years. The engine is slowed, but the heartbeat will back. Edo will rise again. Edo will rise again. Edo will rise again. If you believe Edo will rise again, raise up your hand. God bless you.
Okay, so sincerely speaking, right, this is like Oshiomhole confirming that Mondo Bewolo is not educated. I know, of course, education is not the key to success. It doesn't also mean that somebody is going to be a successful leader. But then you also agree that he's not intelligent, because you said with your mouth right now that people have said that you were not, you did not have primary C's, and nobody has said that about him. The conversation in public space is that the state has grown beyond allowing a man like Mondo Bewolo Akpakomiza to be in his or her governor, right, in proper context. So Oshiomhole's confirmation now begs the question: why are you allowing somebody who do not have the intellectual capacity? Because whether you like it or not, I'm not an Oshiomhole's fan, so to speak, at the moment, right? But then you could not remove the fact that even if he was seemingly not educated, he was smart, or he's smart, so to speak. He's brilliant. He's got a bit of exposure and experience. Oshiomhole was vice president of the International Labour Organization for crying out loud. He was president of the NLC, right? And so at that point, the man cannot rise to that particular level being unintelligent, right? Even if he's not educated, like informal education. But education, again, is not really about going to school to acquire a certificate. It's about getting life experiences, life exposure, reading, developing. A man that doesn't know the difference between a zoo and a museum, for example, it's clear, and it wasn't an error. It doesn't like it was a slip of tongue. It was clearly an indication of this man doesn't know what to do. Again, I'm also bothered that Oshiomhole agreed at this point that he never had primary C's, but this was not the case during the time. The Ministry of Education was burnt down, and of course, if you remember clearly, at some point, Philip Shaibu had indicted him to saying that if Oshiomhole talks too much, he would tell the world of what happened to the Ministry of Education in Yaro that was burnt down. Again, Oshiomhole is also confirming here that his only legacy as governor of Edo State was basically about roads, about red roof, like he had mentioned, and the palace. That being said, the state governors had gone beyond this level of infrastructure. There are reforms, there are policies, there are programs. He worked with the youth, oh yes. He empowers several Agberos to become billionaires in their rights, and they're using state resources, right? Collecting money from the people. You contracted revenue collection to individuals, and individuals became richer than some local governments. Is it some? All local governments in the state. And then we are bigger than this. As much as I agree that things can work in this manner, we are not in the medieval era. Plagiarism cannot work. We cannot. This is 2024. Oshiomhole's style of governance cannot work. Even if you are apologetic or you believed in Oshiomhole, you think Oshiomhole did well. Oshiomhole was governor 2008 to 2014 or 2016, sorry. So his style of governance cannot work. We are discussing serious fundamental issues. We are looking at how to ensure that the state is independent. The state can sustain itself. The state can run itself. The state can have control of its resources to an extent and use it to the betterment of the people. The idea of trying to bring somebody there and say, we have commissioners, he will do road. No. So after road, what else? That's where we are. If Oshiomhole has even done some level of reforms, apart from roads and red roof that is bragging, okay, he built Central Hospital, then he said he had good relationship with Palace. Good. What about reforms? What level? It is in this state we saw that there were red roofs over some schools, and the teachers were not empowered. Workers were not being paid. There was no good take-home package for these teachers. You see our teachers bringing melon and cassava to school so that they can sustain themselves. But if I talk like this, it will sound as if I'm campaigning for Obaseki. But that's not the point. I just feel that Oshiomhole has done his bit. Obaseki has done his bit. If we see the next level of Edo State, Bewolo will not be that person. if you see beyond where we are coming from, right? There are pros and cons of the Oshiomhole's government. There are pros and cons of the Obasiki's government. Now, we are discussing future. And if you discuss future, you will know that no, Beolo doesn't have the answer. He doesn't have the answer. He doesn't have the answer. And this confirmation by Oshiomhole is enough reason why intelligent people that are smart enough, that do not want us to go back to the era of Agberu's controlling state resources, using to do that, are going to celebrate billions elsewhere, would not stand. We can't go back to that era. We can't. I'm proud that in the last couple of years, again, I'm not an Obaseki fan, but the truth must be said. There's nobody that has been dragged on social media for going to collect revenue anyhow. I've had to do some biddings with the Ministry of Justice in the last couple of years before I left Nigeria. And I was proud that I didn't have to give 100 naira to anybody for any reason, just for something to be done. Reforms are being done. Let's move forward. Let's ask what's the next question. What is the next state of the state? What should be the next focus of the state? And Beolo doesn't have it. Thank you, Oshiomhole, for letting us know again, reminding us, so at least the people that are still doubting or sitting on the fence will get it right. I'll catch you again soon. No to Beolo, doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He should go and govern or go and preside over a local government. Edo State is bigger than him.